Hi, my name's Chawntay Barrett. I am a visual artist, primarily a painter, and I am from the Greater Toronto area, I guess I'll say. I've lived everywhere in the city, of Afro-Caribbean descent. And this is my first solo exhibit in partnership with Seam Creative and Sandbox Studios called Chapter 1, Just Getting Started. Well, I've always been very creative. I've always loved drawing, painting, fashion, photography, anything creative, but I didn't really think that it was something that you could have a career in. So it was always just like a hobby in like high school. It was like my one elective, and like also like in university, whenever I had space, I would take like an art class. But I would say I started taking it seriously towards the end of university. In 2019, I made it my minor, and then when I graduated, I went full throttle into the arts.
Okay, excellent, like that.
Yeah, I would say so. So my older sister is an architect, and she's very skilled at drawing and stuff like that. I would say that I low-key, I can't give her too much credit because she'll rub it in my face, but I low-key, as a big sister, I took a lot of inspiration from her when I was younger, just trying to do what she was doing. And then I think both of my parents are quite creative. My dad is in the trades. He does spray finishing and carpentry. And from the times that like I've gone to work with him a few times, his ability to like detect color and stuff like that is like phenomenal. Like he just matches colors just like that. And then my mom is a chef, so she also has quite an eye for like plating, and she always like growing up would do arts and crafts with us and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So my biggest help and strength trying to break into this career pathway has been community. Creative agencies such as Scene and like Vibe Arts. I'm currently a part of the Remix project. Artworks TO. Literally, I just applied to like every single community program and aid that I could find, and reached out to them to help. So this collection was really just an exploration to my inner child and an attempt to answer a question that I've had ever since I was a young girl, which was, who is Black Barbie? Just because like growing up, I was really into like any doll, like my scenes, Bratz, all of them. But for Barbie, I always wondered, like for Black Barbie, how could her name be Black Barbie? Like that's like saying like Black Jessica or Black Rebecca. I don't know, like it didn't make sense to me. So like I always wondered, like what's Black Barbie's name? Like does she have an actual name?
Wow.
Her own friends, all of that. So I did a lot of research into the background of the development of the first Black Barbie doll. So the 3 paintings of the figures of the Barbies that I have here are the very first colored doll that they made, which was just a black version of a white doll, like literally like the white doll. They just made her black. And then the next one was more of like its own independent iteration, which was the Christie doll. Christie had like her own version of Ken and all of that, so like it was more her own universe. But then in 1980 they decided to create like Black Barbie, which was like its own unique mold and facial features and stuff like that. And they kept the Barbie name, I guess, for branding purposes. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Was there Black Ken or Jamal? Is that like a stereotype?
So
where's Jamal at?
yeah, they didn't have like a Black Ken, but they had, so the Christie doll had like a male partner called Brad, who was a black male doll.
Okay.
And that's as much as they had, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna have to talk to them and tell like, yo, we need a Jamal, yo.
So this entire wall here is actually, these are actually some of my first like paintings that I took really seriously in my first painting class in university. So they're actually assignments. And the Jab one is we had to make a parody of a famous, renowned painting that already exists. So the one that I chose was American Gothic. and I decided to replace the figures with Jab Jab, just because like that's the whole point of Jab, is to take up space, make colonizers uncomfortable with your presence and freedom and revelry. So I thought that it would be a very appropriate parody to the original painting. And then the one with the "It's a Fete" is the name of the painting, and it's literally just a blurry still of a picture that I don't remember taking at a fete. And I was really captivated with the flag being flown in the middle of the fete. Yeah, actually, I mean, I've gotten a lot of people saying that it reminds them of that, and that's actually a family photo.
Okay.
It's my mom and her sister during their first year in Canada when my grandparents sent for them from Grenada. It's just a picture from the family photo album, but I feel like that story is a story that is very prevalent to a lot of people in that generation. When Pierre Trudeau opened up the borders, a lot of people came to Canada as children around that time period.
Yeah.
So my thing with making art is I personally make art for myself that I want to see more of in the world, that I feel represents me and the people close to me. And I feel like doing things that way, the human experience isn't as unique as we may think. You know, like when your teacher asks you, like, if you have a question asked, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Other people might also have the same question. So I take that approach with my artwork. I feel like I just create more of what I've always wanted to see, how I've always wanted to be represented, and it just so happens that I'm very entrenched in my culture. I grew up in a half Jamaican, half Grenadian household, so that really shows through in everything that I create. Pretty much. So like I've taken like classes in school here and there, but I think it's just accumulation of just really enjoying painting throughout my life and having done it a lot as a hobby. It just turned out that like I had a little bit of a natural inclination for learning the skill a bit quickly. But yeah. 5 years? Well, I don't know about 5 years, but I definitely, you know, would like to be in some earth-shattering galleries. Cough, cough, the Louvre. Like, I would like to see my artwork, and not necessarily even just my artwork, just artwork with this content in large institutional museums and galleries where you don't really see artwork like this. Well, you can always check out my website, which is chawntaybarrett.com, and then also my Instagram, Chawny_, CHAWNY_, or Art by Chawny_, which is strictly art.
Cool. Thank you again.
Thank you.